Mr. So-and-so, I like your product very much. I love the bed that you had sold me, but that bed unfortunately is a little too hard. Objection, right? Now how do you handle the objection? What do you tell him? I had a look at the bed, it's very nice, but it's hard. I mean, my doctor wouldn't advise that. Because I'm not supposed to, I mean, it can create more problems. You're supposed to solve my back problem, but I may end up with severe back problems with your bed. Thinking of any answers? Think of any cookie, because this is just an example. You could possibly say, oh, I understand, sir, and it's very important that you take care of your back, but believe me, our beds are certified by orthopedic surgeons, and we will also ensure that you have a bed custom specifically built to make sure that it has got just the right tension for you to sleep comfortably with your back problem. Will you then buy this bed, sir? बहुत पहले मुझे एक बताया था कि most of us fear a no. We fear कि यार मैं पूछूं और ना बोलूं तो. In the world, there are certain things which are very shocking. You will jump out of a plane at 30,000 feet. I can again convince you to do it. You will go and hold a snake and put it around your neck. If I say it is safe, I can convince you to do it. You may also accept death. But the biggest fear of people is talking to somebody, public speaking. The butterflies ऐसे ऊपर आने लगते हैं. Fearing a rejection. You don't want a rejection. In marketing, you either win it or you lose it. But if you have to follow a prospect, you might as well overcome his objections, और फिर भी अगर no बोलते हैं, तो you're spending your time better off going into somewhere else. But after having given your 120% there in overcoming objections. So you have to have certain ability to make sure that you can converse assertively, you can understand the customer's need, and you do not ramble. Conversations with customers, when you speak, I've seen people who go on, he has all the time in the world. Arey, yesterday's match, what a match, we lost it. Our guys are useless, he'll go on. You have to give some more replies to it. But again, steer the conversation back, don't ramble. Okay? I'm not taking specifics because we may not have the time. Okay. Smile, they can really hear it. Speak very clearly and concisely. We do not have time. How much minutes do you have? How many minutes do you have to actually listen to a person? When you are speaking to a person face to face, there are so many things that help you. What are the things that help you? His body language, her body language, right? How they sit. Like I told you, you go to a person to meet in an office, you see all citations on the wall. Best this, best that, and there the man is sitting. Now you know what kind of a person he is. What is he? He loves to be. He loves that I factor is a little more in it because he loves all that. Look at the wall. You have a table, a man who's sitting on a table with absolutely no paper on it, clean. And an office where everybody is efficiently working. Does it tell you a story on how this man is? But on a phone, do you have all that? No, you just don't have that. So what do? You hear somebody and then you start putting your reason for your call. Once you put your reason for your call, he may say, oh no, I'm not interested right now, or I'm busy. Or he may say, no, so we have something where, this is what we want to do, so I'd like to know whether you'd be interested in this. Oh no, sorry, we just had this bought recently, so I may not be able to buy it now. What do? Alright. Oh wait. When he says no, I believe selling starts. When the customer says no, selling starts. Then the challenge comes. My adrenaline flows when I know that now, up maza aayega. Now what? When he says no, what do you say after that? Your enthusiasm can be very contagious, sir. Oh, I'm sure, sir, you're busy right now. We have got clients who have said no because of whatever reasons. And I do not grudge you that, sir. But I'll do one thing. I'll send you a mail across, or I'll send you a post with some of our literature. Go through it, and I'll call you back in 5 days' time. Thank you very much, sir. I'm not giving him a chance to again say anything. If I tell him, if I wait at that point in time, what will happen? No, don't come in 5 days' time. I'm coming after a month only. If he says something, wait for just a second, put the phone down. Now, you have said, I'm calling you back in 5 days. You're leaving your trial close is not work. That's called a trial close. You ask something, it's not working. You go to the secondary objective. What's your secondary objective? Your primary objective was to set an appointment or meet him. He said no. The secondary objective is what? To get a second chance. What is that? You're keeping the door open. Talk in a positive mood. These are nothing that requires anything. Like I said, never make a call when you are low, down, depressed. Because you have to tick mark in that list. Arey yaar, Mr. Darya ne bol diya, to theek hai, tick kar dete hain. Don't do that. Because what you're doing in any place is, this is your actual, your workplace is going to be this. You paint a mental picture. What is the picture? You have the pitch, high or low. If I do a session with you, you'll see how much you can improve. And the best way to do it is, let me tell you, if you're talking to a client and you want to go through all this, the best way to do it is record your conversation. I haven't introduced myself because it'll take a little more time. I shall do that. But I'm very, very strongly associated with the BPO sector. And telephone calling and selling on the telephone, we don't even meet the client. Listening to abuses. I have people, you think it's a glamorous job, it's not. But trust me, there is so much of effort we put in trying to improve people, the way they speak, the way they approach the client, everything. Now, a prospect, sorry. Inflection. Inflection is when you use your voice to express ideas or moods. And monotonous, no. Sir, I'm calling from Aegis communication, and then college, we are doing this, we would like to meet you for a meeting. So that, what is it regarding? It is for placement of students. Oh no, we already have students. We are not looking at any more placements. Thank you. All right, sir. Thank you. What that happened to me? You know, experience, they say, is what makes a man. There are people with loads and loads of experience, but they do nothing with it. So I've changed that thing to say, experience is what you do with it. Experience तो सभी को है, लेकिन उस experience से what do you do? With that experience, how you hone your skills is more important. Okay. Now, the voice naturally rises on a question or inquiry. Voice falls flat at a period, decision or completion. Now, you must be careful where you need to increase. The enthusiasm doesn't mean shouting. Enthusiasm means being very, very clear on your concepts and expressing it very assertively. That's why I used the word assertive earlier, not aggressively. And never, never, never get into an argument on a phone. Or for that matter, anybody. When the minute you get into an argument, you are completely shifting the focus from your sale to an emotional plane. You lost it. Don't do that. If the person says, no, I'm sorry, keep quiet. Alright. I understand where you're coming from, sir. But just give me 2 minutes. Or something. Because when you're talking to the person, the conversation, do not immediately raise the defenses up and start arguing. It doesn't make any sense. Courtesy. Courtesy is very, very important. Your courtesy of thanking people. I've seen people, typically I've seen it happen, and you're also doing it in your office, I don't know. I called up a very reputed company the other day, just recently, and they are into, I'll tell you an example. I won't name the organization. And the person is into image building. They say, give me a lady, give me a girl and take back a lady. This is their catch line. I went across, I called up the first call. Ring, 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 no response. Then I go through this and did I make a mistake in the number? Second number. Ring, 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 7 times, 8 times. After that, the telecom only disconnects the call, right? It goes for a particular period and disconnects. Again, I tried after 10-15 minutes. Because I personally won't give a call more than twice because it's rude. If somebody doesn't pick up a phone, just because you have a mobile phone, don't expect a man to pick it up every time, whether it's in the toilet, bath, wherever. Give him a break. That's courtesy. I called up after some time. See the fun now. They are an organization supposed to train people in etiquettes. So again I tried. Then a lady picks up. A smile is plastered across my face. I said, I'm so and so. I would like to know some more information about the things that you are offering. Which one, sir? I said, we've got a half-a-page ad, and I'm calling regarding that. Oh, where did you see the ad, sir? I said, I saw it in so and so magazine. Oh, 1 minute. Hey, वो ad के बारे में? Oh, किसको बात करना है? All that happened. About 7 minutes, I could hear all that conversation there. 7 minutes, mind you, I'm watching. And I had the patience because I wanted to see, this is a very nice example, and I said, let me see where this ends up. Then it's transferred to another lady who's of some importance in that organization. Oh, hello. I said, ma'am, I've been holding on, nobody seems to be knowing about this, so what is this all about? Could you give me some information? Oh, Miss Nair, is that so? Well, I'll do one thing. Can you just hold on? I'll transfer you to somebody who is more competent to give you this information. So the competent lady comes on the line, and then I speak to the person, and then she gives me. I go to 3 levels. Imagine the state of the caller. Now, what are the mistakes that you found here? One is, whenever a phone rings, pick it up in the 3rd ring. Thumb rule. Any organization that doesn't pick up a call in 3 rings, there is something seriously wrong in that organization. After this, do I have the time?
Yes, even.
After this, what is the next problem? Information. When you give a telephone number, whether it's yours or your organization's, you make sure that somebody is there who picks up the call and is competent enough to give the right information. Okay, after this what happens? What is the next mistake? They don't have the information. After this, what did they do? They put me on a hold for 7 minutes. 20 seconds is a cardinal sin. You don't put anybody on hold for more than 20 seconds. And that too after asking, sir, may I please put you on hold? I'll just get that information. Then and only then you put a person on hold. Courtesy, manners, telephone manners, this is it. And then, after every 20 minutes, 20 seconds, sorry, not 20 minutes, 20 seconds, again interrupt and say, sir, it's taking a little while. Would you be alright and comfortable holding for some more time? Or, can I call you back? Can you give me your number? Can you give me your name? Whatever, I'll call you back. And then you connect the party, and once the party is free, you immediately call back. Impressed. I know I go to certain companies, insurance companies, press 1 for Hindi, 2 for this, 4 for this, 5 for this, 7 for this, 8 for this. That IVR goes on and on and on. Wrong. Everybody gets put off. But in this country, for once, our population has come in use for us because of population there is a huge market and economy grows. So we always used to complain that India has too many people are there. But that's why we are growing today. But the other problem is, because there are so many people, none of our companies really bother. So it is because of that. It's like a pond. I have a huge ocean. If I tell a marketing guy your area is only CBD, he will be in a fix. But if I tell him the whole market is for you from the whole of Bombay, jali pheko, machliyan to phase. So most important thing is you must have certain telephone mannerisms taken care of when you're doing telemarketing or anything for that matter. Okay. Many times it's not what you say, but how you say it. So many examples. Like I told you, assertiveness comes here also. Don't say, no, I'm sorry sir, I can't do anything about it now. Let's have a look at one small, is the video working now? Yeah. Okay, can we minus this? Alright.
Video will take some time actually. Only after break I'll check why audio is not working for the
We'll take a break and then we'll
Okay, cool. Then let's continue this because I thought of doing an it's alright, it's alright. What did you find out? Understanding. Okay? Now, yes sir? कैसे बात करना है? Is it not familiar? In a smallest business, I'm telling you, even if you have to improve even a 20% in our business, the way we handle people, the way we handle is the wrong word, the way we treat people, the way we respect them, you would see almost geometric level increase in the kind of what? Business enhancement. Prospecting तो पहले करते, every business has a lot of prospecting. पहले तो यहाँ हाथ मारेंगे, वहाँ करेंगे, ये करेंगे. Afterward the business starts now. If you see the graph, the prospecting is very high, so you get clients. After that, once the clients start coming, the person is completely lost in all the operations. कि prospecting भूल ही गया और फिर business आना कम हो जाता है. They say if you're an entrepreneur, the first 6 years will determine whether your business starts or fails. 90% of the businesses drop off after the 6th year. If not the 6th year, the 10th year. If you're managing to survive that, your business takes off for far many more years. More on that later. But again, understanding. Avoid talking with anything in your mouth. Very, very, very. You can see it. See, there are certain people who get away with it. See, when I'm saying this, you say, yeah, but Salman Khan keeps chewing. But they are people who can afford to do it because they have got charisma. What are they called? Charisma. So they are celebrities. When they do certain things, when they speak, it is a style statement. Don't go by that. I am talking about what is sacrosanct in a business environment. Rate of speech. Some people go on as if they have to catch the fast local. Bombay, everybody is in a rush, but baaton mein bhi rush hote. No, yeah, I just wanted to go there. Yeah. Oh, she's wearing this nice dress. What? Yeah, she's always like that. I don't find even normal conversation people thinking that slow is better. There's only place where slow is better is in your conversation speech. We don't use pauses. We go from point A to point B or E or F in such a hurry that we miss a lot of things in between. Sometimes when you talk on the phone, you talk so fast, you are not letting the other person have your information sink in. You got some great dynamite statements. Well, sir, we'll give you a whopping 30% discount if you book the order by this week. Don't go on 30% this week, and sir, next week onwards you will not have that order, and thereafter you understand what happened now? You're losing the client. Fast talkers can arouse suspicion because why do you talk fast? Because you don't have enough of confidence in what you say, so you want to jaldi khatam kar do yaar call. If you have confidence in what you speak, you will also want the other person to what? Respond. The whole idea is let them ask questions. Slow talkers can be irritating. We've seen slow talkers. I'm not talking about people who have a problem in what do you call it? What do you call that speech? They have they stammer a lot. Not those kind. Even then we get irritated sometimes in a hurry. Though courtesy demands that we can't do that. But then some people speak so slowly, they are not. Everybody doesn't have the time for it. So you got to modulate your voice, speak in a proper tone, clear enunciation. Can I go to the next slide? You can't talk and listen at the same time. When somebody is talking, don't interrupt. A pause doesn't always mean the individual is finished talking. The minute the other person finishes, okay. Sometimes your anxiety is so much that you start talking again. Wait for that person to, the big pauses can be, that's called a pregnant silence. Something is going to happen. Hold it. You've seen two cars. Who blinks first? Dekha? Two cars are coming at each other with full speed. Whoever moves out first, the Americans do this, wins. Whoever moves out, who doesn't move out, wins. In conversations too, who blinks first? After you say something, wait. Don't be so scared कि अगर मैं और कुछ नहीं बोलूँ तो ना बोल देंगे. Concentrate, focus on the conversation, practice shutting out outside distractions, because many a times when you speak on the phone, do not do something and talk on the phone. Turn your face away from your workstation, turn your face away from whatever paperwork you're doing or other colleagues or other distracting things happening, turn your face away. Choose a quiet place and do not have any distractions. Focus. Can I have the next? Take notes. What are you going to do? Because as you see, you are not a computer. Always have a pen and paper and write down points. Listen for ideas, not just words. And whenever you are speaking, don't have dead silence. I mean, the other person speaking, always say, oh yes, I see. Yes. Okay. Very, very important. Okay. Another thing is, if you've seen, nowadays secretaries are very less. You don't see many secretaries. Earlier, you used to see secretaries even in small offices. And an efficient secretary is a great boon to an office. Why I say that is, I've seen them do this very often. Many a times when people keep calling, suppliers call, vendors call, distributors call. I've seen once in an office, a lady, well, the minute the voice, she recognizes the voice, immediately she'll say, oh, good evening, Shamji bhai, how are you? The next call she takes, Are Arvind bhai, kemcho. The point is, she remembers all these names and she takes these names. What happens when you take this name? Try it out yourself. Whenever you are introduced to a person and he says, what's your name? Hi, Arvind. Whenever you talk, initially if you want to remember the name, it's a good thing. Arvind, so what did you do? Okay, Arvind, that's very nice to hear. Your name, when you repeat it, it always makes the other person feel a little warmer. There's a bond established and friendship begins. A certain company did an experiment, I'll give you a thing. This is an actual experiment. Near the cigarette vending machine, they kept a exact change for a packet of cigarette. And left it there. People came, who wanted cigarette, they saw the change, they put it inside. Paisa phukad mein pada tha wahan. They put it inside, got it. And then immediately the other person will come and say, oh, yesterday I forgot the change here, or some time ago, and can I please have my change back? Because he's already used it and taken it. Now, the person who speaks, takes the name and touches the person, almost always gets the change back. There was only rejection when the person does not speak properly and also does not, there's a touch and speak both. The speaking words are the same. There's a slight touch. He's saying, I left the coins here. Can I please have the coin back? The other one is, I left the coins here. Can I have the coins back? In this interesting thing, what I'm trying to say is 28% of the people refuse to give the coins back. You can't challenge it. You'll say, no, I used it up. I won't give it back. You can't do anything much. You left the coins there. But if you build a rapport, there are certain things like taking the name, being concerned about the other person. All this makes that person more tuned to accepting your information. Alright? Now, take the caller name. Every time the caller phone, you can't touch him, but you can always take the name here. Okay? Keep the phone 2 finger width away from your mouth. Don't talk into the mouthpiece because it gets very muffled. I've already told you, never put a person on hold without asking his permission. And thank the caller for holding. Always thank him for holding. Thank you very much for holding, ma'am. Now transferring the caller. This is the limit. If you see, whenever you have to transfer a call, I have seen companies when I call something, they are board receptionists or the department. Can I speak to so and so Matthew? There is not even hold on. Suddenly I am in space. I don't know where I am. There's no sound, nothing, because he's already put me on hold and gone. Now, some extension starts ringing. If nobody picks up, it comes back to her. Then again, hello, so and so speaking. I said, I was just on the call. You put me on hold. Now, no saying, sorry sir, please hold on, I'm so sorry. Again back onto space. Very wrong. And before you transfer, I say I want to speak to somebody from the HR department, the lady transfers the call, but does not tell me she's transferring the call. Whom should I speak to? So before you transfer a call, say, what is it regarding? So and so. Very well, sir. I am putting your call on to Mr. So and so of this department, and he shall attend to you. This is a basic courtesy. What should a phone taking messages? When you take a message for somebody, you just don't say, I'll call him, I'll tell him. You take what? You take the name of the caller, the time and date of call, what the call is regarding, if a follow-up or a return call is needed, and the phone number. Very, very, very important. And you can expect this to be done by them also. This is a great joke. Have you seen automatic voice answering machines? And you have to leave a message. What message would you leave? There's nobody in the office. And when you have an answering machine, don't say, dude, I'm out. Leave your message. No. I'm presently not in the office. Kindly leave your message. Give your name and your telephone number, and I shall get back to you. This is fine enough. But don't have those fancy things. You think I'm going to get your call? You must be joking. There are these crazy. You should see the kind of answering machines we get when we talk to US, UK. Crazy answering machines. But they are very bad. So when you make a call, there are people who, the other end is very interesting. I'm calling from so and so because I want to give you this information. We sell this, we do this, we do that. You're out of the conversation because after 1 minute it disconnects. So your answering machine is not for you to leave a Mahabharat there. It is to say, I'm so and so calling from so and so, my number is this, it is regarding this. I'll call you back later, or can you please return me a call? Finish. That's all. That's why they give you 1 minute or 2 minutes. Others they would have given you a never-ending recording. Okay. Alright. Can we just try the other one now? These points on the phone are something that all of you would consciously make an effort to do. This doesn't come easy. And whenever you're making calls to customers or whoever, make a small list either on your Excel sheet or wherever, where there's a column is called on so and so date, follow-up action, okay, all these. And then when you take an appointment and he says, please come at 11:30 on Friday, then Friday 11:30 it must be, and not 1 minute early, 1 minute late. I've seen many of you, when you go for interviews, I'll just do a small exercise. I'll ask somebody, alright, your good name?
Nikhil.
Right, Nikhil, why do you want to apply for a job in this company?
Because I am eligible for that. I am having all capabilities for which you are looking. So I think that will be a good option.
Would you try? Same question. Why should I employ you?
Same answer.
Don't do that. At least say a few words. Don't say same answer. फिर ditto करना पड़ेगा. Okay? Yeah.
I am competent enough to handle all the responsibilities for the particular job. and
Relax. I mean, just as you would speak to an interviewer, relax. Anybody else want to volunteer? There are certain standard questions an interviewer asks. Why do you want to join us? What is the greatest challenge you have faced so far? What is your 5-year short-term goal? What's your long-term goal? Standard questions. You can give canned answers or you can give very interesting answers. That's up to you. Now, the point is, when you say, I can ask many more people, and I'll tell you what, generally the answer comes like this. I am suited for this. Then there's one more thing, I'll get experience. Correct? Right? I'll get experience. I will learn a lot of things. Yes or no? Right? Anything else that you want to add?
No, I have already experienced based on your JD, job description, and your company is a very reputed company. So this point is, I think it's much more enough.
My company is very reputed and you've already gone through my job description.
Yeah.
How did you get a job description before you came into the company? From the advertisement?
Yeah, from that.
Alright. That's not a job description, that's basically a job brief. A job description comes after you join, where the entire thing is written. Alright, anybody else? No. See, all of you said this very, very nice. At some point or the other it is right, okay, it's your personal opinion. But one thing is there, you never say, why is the company recruiting you? You should be able to say that I will want to contribute to what you are doing. I'd like to learn a lot from this company and I'd also like to bring in my skills with your knowledge that you give me to do something more to your bottom line. What's your bottom line? Your profits or whatever, right? You always ask, what is in it for me? मैं अगर personally आपसे if I talk to you and you want to give me something, say, what is in it for me? मैं आपको दूंगा तो आप क्या दोगे? Very rarely do students go and tell them that I would like to what? Contribute. It's always I. Get. Give. Who will say this? You are there because it's a larger objective of the company. If it's a shoemaking company and you've got a skill in HR, fine. Your HR is in a recruitment company, fine. But then you have to give something to the company. Talk the language that they want to hear. Again, marketing. Your customers always want to hear what they like to hear, not what you want to tell them. Do you realize this? You may have a great product. Students of marketing or all of you know positioning. What is positioning? What is positioning?
where you stand in the market.
What is positioning?
Holding in the market.
Positioning of what? Product, yes. Now you see how much of money is being pumped to get that little space in your mind. Your mind is like a sponge, wet sponge. Thoda pani jata, dusre pani, it goes off. The water it can hold is limited. And in this age of bombarding, internet, television, hoardings, newspaper, magazines, you got saying this has got protein. I often say that if you have your shampoos in the morning for breakfast, it will be healthy because they all say it has got badam, it has got pista, it has got egg, it has got this, it has got that. But how many products are trying to get that space in your mind? Similarly, when you go for an interview, remember one thing, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to position yourself in that person's mind. Positioning is not what you do with the product. I always differ on this. You are not positioning the product. You are positioning the what? The customer's mind. You are positioning it in the customer's mind. You are creating a space. Whether it's a Ghana, Cocoa Bean or whatever, you remember the advertisements. There are certain things you remember. Kabi Kolka Jod, whatever. Certain campaigns are very good. But it's created a space in your mind. Ek balan chota kar do. Rather stupid ad. But you still remember it. If I ask you what the product is, you'll tell me now. So the point is, just like that, there are thousands of students going out to what? Interview. You got to create a position for yourself in the mind of the people who are taking your interview. That's your image, that's your communication skill, that's your knowledge skill. Today is the age of a generalist. Remember that. You cannot think that I am a specialist, so I will only talk about finance, or only HR, or only marketing. No. You got to be a generalist. There's also behavioral interviews now. Do a little bit of homework on behavioral interviews. What are behavioral interviews and how do you crack them? So most important is, because I am not looking at a guy who is a hotshot engineer alone. I am looking at a guy who will work with another 100 people. Correct? I am looking at a guy who will work well and also grow well and also be a leader in time to come. Do I see that trait in the gentleman who is sitting before me today? And they often say, you got to have an open mind. The minute you close your mind, you think you know everything, you're lost it.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. The question you asked, why I will hear you, right? On that one, I think the position will go for middle level management. On that one, we can say like, what will be my return on investment? Because we won't go for higher level management. So I think return on investment will come in higher level, not in lower level. I mean in middle level.
For the interviewer?
Yeah, for the interviewer.
No. See, I'll tell you what.
So sir, can you please tell me how that type of question I can handle?
See, for example, they'll never ask you for return on investment if you're going at the junior level or whatever. But return on investment is what? They're investing time, energy, effort in training you. See, when you go there with an MBA degree, most people think that MBA degrees are your passport to big things. No. Today a survey says 90% of the MBA students are doing what graduates do. Why? Because there's a lot of people applying for jobs. Now, when you have so many people in the market, you need to do what? One is your entry. Your first thing is get into the organization. If you become too choosy, first you need to decide where you want to go. I'm not saying you can't be choosy. You narrow down your requirements to, let us say, okay, you're in the finance. Now you say, I don't like that industry, I don't like this industry. At the age of 21, 22 or 24, 25, 26, you're young. Today, our average life expectancy, a child born in the USA can safely say, or India also say, that today I know that I'm born, so I'll live till 83 years. Women live for a little more, 86 years in the USA. Life expectancy has grown. Now why I'm deviating is, see, remove it from the mind that I have got no time. No, today is a time when you don't look at certain things which you can look at later. If you read the Maslow's theory of growth, you have certain things that now you want money. After some time you will want position. After some time you will want recognition. Then money ceases to be an important factor. Now when you go in and the company is always looking at people for what? If you are so insignificant, then they may say, ठीक है, बात करता है, हाथ है, ठीक है, ले लो. But you are not that category. So other thing is, they will look at, if I am going to have 30 people and I am shortlisting 10 out of 10, I might as well take 10 who are smart, who are well groomed, who understands what they want and is clear. I don't have time. You may be very good and clear in what you're saying. Like, I want this, but the person doesn't have the time. Sadly today, group discussions, interviews are all held without giving adequate attention to that group. And so some of the good ones also are lost. It happens. I am not denying it. Because who has the time? Therefore, you need to go with the right image, and also in your mind, remember, I need that entry. See, once you have an entry into a preferred area of work, I'm not saying that you go only to L&T or only to Microsoft or only to IBM. You may want to go only to these companies. But let us say Wipro takes you in. Go into the area that you want. Choose the area. Many times you don't even know where you will shine, because in that environment you suddenly find that you've got other skills. None of you students have come into doing what you're doing because you were counseled by an expert. Was it? Were your skills taken into consideration in school before you became an engineer or a doctor or a scientist? No. Unfortunately, our system creates people with skill sets which may not be their actual potential. They may be great artists, But daddy said, no, you can't be an artist, son. You got to be an engineer. You don't like engineering. But okay, you get into engineering. But in that environment, you may suddenly find so many areas where you do well that you can always make your way in the corporate maze. Ye ek jungle hai. Remember, the corporate world is a maze. Nobody has time to understand who that guy is. You got to shout, but not loud, but shout by virtue of your ability to do good work and get noticed. And that's where all this communication comes in handy. How many of you have joined clubs where you can speak? Try that, because ultimately, look at it this way. Today you are an engineer. You climb the tallest of tower, fix the thing, get down. You are a guy who is a mechanic, who is an awesome engineer. You go to the shop floor, you check whether that particular device is okay. You can get your hands dirty, everything fine, you love it. After some time, you will have to pass that training to somebody else, right? So immediately you become a supervisor. From a supervisor, you become a manager. From a manager, you become a senior manager, higher manager, director. What do you do when you keep growing up? You deal with people. You only deal with people. Your knowledge levels are very important, but that is not used directly. It's an indirect use. From a direct use of your technical skills, you move on to indirect use of your technical skills. The direct use is your human relations ability, communication ability, the ability to talk to people, get your work done, manage human beings. Human beings so dynamic in the emotional intelligence, on the way they behave, egos, super egos, you've got to handle all this. You may get a fantastic engineer, but with a very bad attitude. How do you change that attitude? So when you get in, you are not given those tasks and responsibilities. There it's only that, okay, you are there, your degree speaks for yourself, fine, now what? Then you get that moment of glory. Which is that moment of glory for you? When you meet the interviewer and there you are and on your finest glory. Suited, booted, skirted, all, and sitting there, and then you give him what he wants to hear. Do your homework. I even go to the extent of telling students, before you go for an interview, one day before, go to the office. There's no harm in telling the receptionist there that I have an interview tomorrow, so can you please help me generally with whatever tips you can give me. She'll give it to you. Because companies are not there to take people like cattle. That company don't even bother to go. They need you, you need them. That's why when I take an interview, I often tell people, I don't take an interview with a mahogany table which is 10 feet long and you're sitting there and I'm sitting here. And you've got to walk 40 feet of empty space to reach me. By that time itself, I'm also totally unseated. I want you to be your natural self so I know what you are. You will get a bright break. Don't worry. Don't get yourself so tensed up. You are in India. As much as the population works against you, the population works for you. Remember that. Because that many more businesses are there. That many more opportunities are there. Focus. Build your other skill sets. An MBA is just a ticket for the knowledge. See, so many of you have the knowledge of MBA, but you have not become an entrepreneur. Why? All of you are looking at, have you read the book, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Yes? You wanted to say something?
I want to ask a question. Why the company give the preference to hire an MBA student?
You'll be surprised. I'll tell you what. Why the company gives preference to MBAs, I'll tell you why. See, today the world of corporate is so fast and dynamic. Okay? Some years ago, remember your fathers, how many years they served in the same company? I have seen people retire from company with bonuses and all that and pension plans, and after 20 years, 30 years, correct? Galat to nahi? From an apprentice, they take as an apprentice. If that's a technical field, if it is an officer field, they take him and then they keep moving up, correct? Today, time has compressed so much that you need to do things faster, almost 100 times faster than what it was 20 years ago. So, you need people with skill sets who cannot be taught. by putting through to various departments. As an MBA, now you understand, when I say strategy, you will understand that strategy is also from the stakeholders, from the people who are the board of directors, they have strategy. It boils down to departments. Departments have their own strategy, which is basically tasks. One department is in charge of it. There are strategic business units. Now you understand all that. Imagine a person not trained in all these factors going into a company. Will he be able to understand that? The challenge here is you have been trained, you know. I will say that even if you have not by-hearted all these theories, with the internet and the ability today of information access, what I need to train you is how to get that information at the right time. That's all. You have now got a skill set which you know this is what it is. You have never seen the application of that skill in the real life. That's fine. But compare that with somebody who has never got an idea. What is regression analysis? What is this? What is that? What are the departments? What are the functions? They don't know. So for them, the difficulty is much more. Does that answer your question? So they prefer somebody with a certain amount of. Now look at the other side. There are also people. I often say, like look at, Citibank or Standard Chartered Bank. You have MBAs. They are customer relationship managers. They sit there. They're MBAs. They're given a fat salary. Do they learn anything more? They do the same task day in and day out. Unless you are able to move to the corporate maze because you've got other skills, then you're pulled up for promotions. You understand? So MBAs also is what you do with that MBA degree. You need to add on a lot more of other skills. Apply these MBA skills to actual real life applications, understand, read. They say learning begins where education ends. And today with the kind of information that you guys are bombarded with, I'm sure all of you here have grown up with multinationals selling every damn thing to you. In my school days, trust me guys, I had one Bata shoe, I had one khaki bag, or an aluminium dabba that would make my uniform all dirty. Today look at the kind of things that the children are being sold. You've grown up in an environment which is so very different from yesteryears. The pace, the options, the challenges also have changed. But fundamental values haven't changed. Values don't change from time to time. Values are forever. But the environment, the dynamism of the environment, everything is different. The dynamics are different. So you've got to pull up yourself by the bootstraps. And communication, there's so much in communication, so much. Unfortunately, my class with you does not permit me to go through a lot of other things today. But I certainly will enjoy giving you a lot more of things, inputs on practical solutions on what we can do with the kind of knowledge you have. Look at the glass half full. You guys are privileged with information that so many people don't have. There's something very nice I read the other day. It says if you have a grandparents, you're among the lucky few thousands among the millions of people who have their grandparents with you. If you have a father and mother and a roof over your shoulder, over your head, you are among the lucky few among the billions of people who are homeless and without parents. But we often look at how unfortunate we are. वो नौकरी चाहिए जो 60,000, 70,000 मुझे महीने में. And we depress ourselves. Rather than saying, let me use it as a stepping stone, see what is required and move up. So have a sea change, keep your mind open. As Confucius said, if you have a closed mind, he took a cup, poured water in it, and he kept on pouring. Once the water was full, is there any place for any more water? It will flow out. So it's constantly necessary to keep emptying your mind of the nonsense and keep filling it up with sense pertaining to the time. I would recommend that you all don't waste time learning and by-hearting things because you are now living in a world with e-pads, iPads and what have you and internet. Broadband speeds have gone to God knows what. So you can always access information at the tip of a finger. But the challenge is like open book exam. Unless you know where to look for what, I can give you all the information and it will do nothing. The same story of the pea shooter and the AK-47. Information is what you do with it, experience is what you do with it.
What are the companies are looking for technical guys plus MBA guys?
Fine. If you are a technical guy, you have an opening in the technical area. If you are a technical plus MBA, because I told you, let's take marketing. They want guys with technical information plus the ability to